Welcome to the Meta's World. Welcome to my podcast. Hey y'all. Welcome to the Meta's World. Welcome to my podcast, my very first episode. Today's topic is about broken true friendships. And some of y'all may know that this is touchy for me right now because I did just lose a very close best friend of mine that we've been friends since third grade. We were friends since third grade, and it really broke me that she died suddenly at the age of 36. And we literally just turned 36. She turned 36 December 20th. I turned 36 December 21st. That was a bond that I never wanted broken. And because of life situations on my end and hers, it did break. And this topic is very important for me to get across and to talk about as my first episode because it's recent and it's important because when you have a friendship for so long and when that person's family treats you like family and then your family treats her like family or him, it's real tight. And it was, I know aunts, I know cousins, I know, brothers, I know her father, her mom, of course. And it's not something I could just get over. And the breakdown of this situation is going to be hard for me today. I'm going to try my best to keep it together, but it's going to be hard. So, Alana and I, like I said, been friends since third grade, along with three other friends that we grew up together and more. But me and her were the tightest. Um, it was, we were one of the tightest because it was me and another, one of my other best friends, Sarah. She lives in Pennsylvania. But me and Alana here in Baltimore was the tightest. We went on vacations together, mostly me, me with her family. Um, we moved in our first apartment together. We um, didn't graduate the same year, but we stayed in touch. We didn't go to the same high school, but we stayed in touch. But we went to the same elementary school. We went to the same middle school, and we kept in touch in high school. By 2011, we were able to move into our first apartment together. We went to college together. We got our certification as a CNA together. Went to the same school. We worked at multiple jobs together. Um, Alana is no secret to people who know us that when you saw one, you saw the other. Um, what hurts the most is that we weren't speaking when she passed. That's what hurts the most. And in my eyes, I'm the reason we weren't speaking. About 6 years. And that's a long time. She's supposed to be my daughter's godmother. She's my best friend, more like a sister. And when you have that type of friendship, no matter what's going on between y'all, try your best to make things right. I owe her mostly everything that happened in my life from when we first met till we were in till we got our first apartment. Even when I had my daughter, I owe her a lot. And my dream one day was to pull her aside, take her out somewhere on me, on my dime, take her out somewhere, show her a good time, talk to her, let her know that I know where I went wrong with our friendship, and at least try to fix it where we could be cordial We didn't have to be kissy buddy type, because I knew it would have to be worked on at that moment. But at that time, I wanted to at least make amends, because I know my part in this situation of why we weren't talking, and most of it was me. Uh, a friendship like me and Alana had is rare, very much so rare. Not a lot of people, especially nowadays, could grow up from that young age to an adulthood, and not be stabbed in the back, not to be talked about. She never blabbed about me viciously to anyone that we know, that I don't know and she knows. I've had the opportunity to meet a lot of people that she knew that I did not know. And like I said, it's rare. She never, you know, she was a very secretive person, especially with her own business. Like, I can get on here and Facebook for years and and showcase or voice my opinion about my life and how bad it was going or whatever, but not with her. So I could easily tell her something and it wouldn't end up on social media, because social media and people's opinion wasn't what Alana worried about. It wasn't a thought in the back of her head. So that's what I mean when I say, when you have a friendship that tight and that wonderful, or whatever you want to call it, is you got to hold on to it, or try your best to hold on to it. Or if y'all have an issue, try your best to make it right. When we moved out of the apartment, I was about 3 months pregnant. My pregnancy was horrible. Whereas though we had to move because I could no longer work, um, and pay my part of the bills. But we always made jokes that, well, maybe every time we walked past the complex, when we finally did move out after I had my daughter, we would walk past it and still go to different stores and meet up and stuff like that. We would always walk past and say, oh, I wonder if they let us come back, you know. And I never in my life would have thought that our friendship would end up the way it did, because we were still okay after we moved out of the apartment, that I feel as though was because of me. And I feel as though that I did a whole lot of things in that apartment. I let a lot of things slide in that apartment, and a lot of people invade our apartment without consulting her. And I believe my pregnancy was the icing on the cake for her as far as the apartment, because it caused us to have to move. I'm not saying that she disliked my daughter. I'm not saying that she had an issue with my daughter. But my thing is, I think in her eyes, it was like, this was something we supposed to do together. I let someone come in and invade that space, stay, move their stuff in, and basically use me. And then eventually I got pregnant. This is not a random person that I got pregnant by. I didn't pick him up off the street, move him in, and say, this is my boyfriend, and now he's my baby father. He was someone I know for a while. But my point is that I allowed him to move in without consulting her. Not saying, hey, Alana, this is such and such. I did introduce them, but I did not get confirmation that it was okay for him to extend his stay, if you know what I mean. So it's like, that's what I mean when I say I knew what I had done to cause a friction between her and I. On top of it's not even just him moving in there. I've allowed other people to move in there. And I think she went along with it to prevent any conflict between me and her, or me and that member of my family or friend. mostly family members. But Alana was real tight. Like her relationship with me was real tight as far as with my sisters and brothers. But I think it was a more of an issue when there was just a constant thing of everybody being there. It was never a Zena and Alana's space long enough. We moved in there in 2011. By beginning of 2012, people was coming there to stay the night. Mostly my people. And what breaks me up about it is that I made a big deal about her mom being there when we first moved in. Her mom moved in with us. I made a big deal about it, and boom, we sat down and we talked about it, and her mom agreed to move out and move with her sister. I didn't do that for her. I didn't tell my family or I didn't tell my friends like, no, this not gonna work because she feel this way about it. Or I think it's best this way because this is supposed to be me and her apartment and I didn't consult her. So I think it's best that you go like she did for me. But let's sit down and talk about it. Let's see what we could do. And it wasn't that I didn't like her mom being there or whatever, or I dislike her mom. I love her mother. She did a lot for me. Like when anywhere she moved, she had space for me. It was one time they moved into a house, and I had my own room. My thing was at the time 24 years old. We 24, 25 years old. We're moving out on our own. I'm getting away from my parent. I never felt right doing half of the adult stuff I could do, and I did do in our apartment with her mom there. And with me, it's just a matter of respect. It wasn't to cause friction. It's just I never felt right. Whether it was intercourse or, profanity or whatever, is a matter of respect with me. And I never felt right with her mom being there and me doing those things. And I'm free. So I'm free to do grown up things at 24, 25 years old. And so my point is that she fixed that issue without no big commotion, without no big issue or problem, no hollering and screaming. Some people did get a little bass in their voice here and there, not between me and Alana, but others. But like I said, it was the point that she took the time to make it right because I had an issue with it. But I didn't in return do the same for her. Like I said, friendships is like that is very important. When my daughter was 2 years old when Alana and I parted ways. When we stopped texting each other, stopped calling each other, stuff like that. Mostly on her end. But I wasn't offended because even when we lived together, she would close herself off to be by herself. She'll close and lock her door when we were living together. She would put on headphones. She'll watch a movie, stuff like that, alone. She'll be by herself in her room. I knock here and there just to make sure, boom, boom, you still in there, you still up, you still breathing, But I always left her alone because I already knew what she was doing and what it meant. Like she wanted to be by herself, so I was used to it. So when me and her stopped communicating for that period, for that time, I was just in the back of my mind like, all right, she just need time, so I'm gonna just leave her alone, and she'll call me or text me when she wants to deal with me or when she wants to come out of her space. Fast forward to my daughter is at the time now 6 years old. spot Alana at a shopping center where we used to work. I didn't see her. I saw her, but then my mom seen her. We were coming out of a store. She was walking past the multiple stores in that shopping center, and she was walking towards the end of the parking lot. So I'm driving at the time. So I ride around because by then she walked so fast. Like she walks so fast, you gotta literally like try to keep up with her when she's walking. But I pull around and she's almost at the other side of the shopping center where the even more stores are at. And I slow down beside her and she looked at me, and when she looked at me, I could feel her in her mind say, "Oh God." I could feel her say, "Oh God, here we go. Here's something I gotta deal with or listen to when I want to." That's the look I got from her. And I said to her, I said, "Hey." She said, "Hey, how are you?" And I said, "Hey, how are you?" I said, "I'm good. How are you?" And she's like, "I'm fine." She's steady walking. She never stops. She never stops walking. And she keeps walking. I'm driving slow beside her. And I said, "Well, is your number still the same? I wanted to talk to you. I wanted to see how you doing." So she's like, "Yeah, my number's still the same, blase, blase," and we go all our separate ways. I said, "Okay, well, I'll text you, and we can go from there." She hits the corner and say, "Okay," and I pull off. That within the hour, I text her, "Hey, you want to go get drinks and food? I wanted to talk to you. I want to apologize. I wanted to fix our situation or whatever, and I'll pay for it. It'll be on my dime." And because she's always flipped the bill with me. I've did it a few times, but she did it more for me than I did for her. And she replies, and she says, "Okay, I'll let you know when I'm free." Okay. So about a month or so go by, and I text her again. And I say, I haven't heard from you. Just wanted to make sure we were still good to meet up. I got this such and such time. Let me know. She replies and says, "Okay, I'll let you know when I'm off." Okay. I never hear from her. I did reach out one more time. By the end, I just got an okay. I reached out and I said, "Still waiting. Let me know." And she said, "Okay." And I didn't hear from her. I didn't hear from her after that. So it broke me because, like I said, I know why. Excuse me. I know why. And for some time, I was not the friend to her, she was to me. And everybody who gave me advice on, who tried to give me advice on, who you did reach out, you tried, you let her know that you wanted to speak with her, you wanted to make amends and stuff. It was up to her to reply or to set a date to give you some time, some dates and time for y'all to meet up. But I'm not I'm not hearing them. I'm not listening to those words. I'm not hearing what people say. I'm not listening to what people saying. Because in my mind, so what? She didn't reply. I know why. I'm the reason she didn't reply. I'm the reason why she didn't set a date. I'm the reason why she didn't give me any times nor dates. And it hurts because she was that good, great one of the good, great friends to me, and I blew it. I broke that bond between her and I. She went on to do other stuff, like what people usually do in life. What people usually do. I went on to this stuff. She went on to this stuff. But always in the back of my mind, I wanted her to be a part of it because I wanted to reward her for what she's done for me. Like now, like this was on me and my sisters were supposed to be doing a podcast, and me and her. I wanted her to be a part of everything I have coming forward, coming to me soon that I'm gonna reveal. I wanted her to be a part of it because I believed I owed it to her. It's not what nobody else think. It's what I believe I owe to her, and I can't give it to her because my actions pushed her away. She she moved. Her and her mom moved from the one apartment I did visit to another apartment I hadn't been in until the day I went there to help her mom with the packing and picking up stuff for me to keep of her. And that was after the funeral. She her style and dressing changed. I went through some of her stuff the bag up, and it was stuff I have never seen her wear. But that's what happens when you elevate to a more of an adult. And life you take life in and do different things and come out of a shell. I was in the shell, she was in the shell. I came out of my shell before her. But I wasn't there for the life things that were going on with Alana because of my actions. I strongly suggest to people to never, ever, 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 whatever you gotta do it. As far as a strong bonding friendship that has 20 plus years on it, especially from like we were born in the 80s, late 80s. These days, that's rare because everybody wants to be over top of everybody, even family, even friends. You can't do certain things in life and get applaud for it from certain families and friends because everybody wants to be over top of you. You do one good thing, they gotta be over top of you with another great thing. They can't not praise you, but they can't give you your flowers for what you're doing. They gotta figure out how to plant and get roses to go over top of you. But I never in a million years thought I would be attending a funeral for a dear friend of mine since the third grade at the age of 36 and couldn't make amends. She left here Sorry. She left here without hearing the words, "I'm sorry," come out of my mouth. Without me apologizing to her for everything I let slide, for everything I let happen, for every big deal I made out of something. I never got a chance to thank her for even helping me with my daughter. Her and I started to try to get our learner's permit at the same time. I got mine, and for the third time I tried to get it, I got it on the fourth try. She had a little bit more of a problem getting hers because of the negativity floating around in her head. Because of the, how do I say it? Because of the being scared is another word, but she was just basically scared that she couldn't do it. And it took her a while to do it. And then finally getting her driver's license. Going from one profession that we got together to another one. And I wasn't there to applaud her. I wasn't there to celebrate her. When her brother made a video pictures for the funeral. And in one of those pictures, she was standing in front of a car, brand new car, with the bow on it from the dealership. And I wasn't there. I know how hard she wanted it. I know how hard she probably worked to get it. I know how hard, when I was around her, how hard she wanted to have a vehicle of her own, even as I was driving around in mine. I know how hard she wanted it. But she in the back of her head, she always had the issue of, I can't, or I failed. Now I ain't gonna pay. I ain't gonna be able to do it no more. I failed it this time, and then I failed it that time. I failed this time, and I failed that time. And she thought maybe it was gonna be a constant thing. But I had to reassure her when we were talking and going through this situation that you're gonna get it eventually, because you can't stop. You want it, so you can't stop. You gotta continue towards it because it's something you really want real bad. As far as life in between, after we stopped talking to right before she got the car, I don't know. Maybe she was around people who helped her out a little more and encouraged her a little more, which is great. But I finally seen her in front of the car. When I told my mom, I said, I see she finally got her car. Not off the street, not used, not something you pay cash for and gotta put tags on it and gotta probably fix it up 20 times a month or whatever. No, this is something she had the credit for, the money for, and went and got it. Finally went and got it. And when I seen that picture, I said, wow. Another accomplishment from Alana, because Alana pushed herself to get it. I know how hard she wanted it, but I wasn't there to celebrate it with her. And in a short period of time she had the car, Lord knows what she did. I can imagine where she went, who she picked up, where she, music blasting in her, what kind of music, I can imagine them random things. Because I know she did it. I know she flaunted it because I finally did it. It's the words in her head. She was saying, "This is mine." And when I went to the apartment to help her mom, and I finally was able to look at this car and touch the car, I was beyond myself. I was beyond myself because she finally got it. I was beside myself because she finally did it, along with everything else she did that I had to learn in a video. I had to learn of my best friend's accomplishments in a tribute video of her death. It's wild. But like I said, when you have a friendship like that, nobody or anything should be able to come between it. I have 3 other friends here in Baltimore and one in Philly. We all went to the same elementary school. Me, Alana, and Shonda was like this. The Three Musketeers. And then eventually it became just me and Alana because of differences. Because we choose to do things in life. We choose not to take responsibility for things. It tore the Three Musketeers apart. But I have to eventually move on from this. But let me tell you, it hasn't, and it's not gonna be an easy road for me. Because she was that friend. That was someone that I could honestly put best in front of friend. Basically sister. I could say that. I could say she was my best friend. Because she showed it to me. When I didn't have food to eat. When I needed a job. When I needed to feel comfortable somewhere. She made me feel comfortable wherever I went with her. A concert, Six Flags, or wherever. Her house, her aunt's house, her cousin's house, her father's house. No matter where I went with her, she made me feel comfortable. And she's not the only one that done it. And what I have to do is keep that connection with the ones I still have left. Because time is not on no one's side. When it's your time, it's your time. And I hate for this to be another situation with me and the rest of my friends. I'm slowly getting back on my feet and working and trying to move and stuff like that. But I have to sit my people down, my friends down, and say, I apologize for this, that, and the third. I have to say we can't let years go by without speaking with each other. All of them are on my social media. Well, I don't know about Sarah. Cause she don't really be on there. Even if she do got one, she don't really be on there. Like me and Sarah had that issue. We didn't have a problem, but we had a gap, and it wasn't 6, 7, 8 years, but it was a while after school ended, and I believe it was middle school, after middle school, but this was when Facebook was out. So when Facebook was out, we reconnected. I took a chance and I searched her up, looked her up on MySpace, and there she was. And when we connected again, when we reconnected, it was like that. We were back like that, like we never left each other. And I just wish I could have done that with Alana. So, more of the story is, like I said, hold on to that friend, that good friend. Make amends with that good friend. I don't care what it was. It can't be that bad that you can't stretch your arm and hand out to her or him and say, "Come, my friend, let's talk." It can't be that bad where you can't sit down and have a conversation. Chop up on some food, dance around in a at a party or something like that. Just get that back. Get that friendship back on track. Because it's important. She was more than a friend to me. She was a sister to me. And it's weird that I'm actually sitting here having this conversation about her being gone, no longer with us. And I can't call and say anything. I can't call and say thank you. I can't call and say forgive me. I can't call and say I'm sorry. I can't call and say it's my fault. It was my fault. And it pains me. It hurts. And like I said, I will eventually be good. I haven't cried back to back in a couple of weeks, but when it hits me, it hit me. And it hit hard. Whereas I separate myself from people and cry. Or I'll lock myself in a room and listen to music, and that one song can come on. Either she liked it or we both liked it, or it has a strong message behind it, and I can break down. But not to the point now. Now it's to the point where I can control it and calm down, because at first it was ways I was making myself sick. And I can't do that because I have a 10-year-old looking at me that I have to care for, I have to worry about. She broke down as much as I did that day at the funeral. And like I said, she hadn't seen Alana since she was 2 years old. But she was always around her those 2 years. Always. Her first thing of supply baby stuff was from Alana. Before a baby shower, after the baby shower, before the baby shower, Alana was the reason she had certain things. So I guess it was just the thought of her wanting Alana to be what she was, titled about, whatever you want to call it, her godmother. And now that she's gone, she can't even call. You can't call her and say, "Hey, girl, mommy, this, that, and the third." So it's hard, and I gotta comfort her. I can't sit here and dwell on the negative about it. I gotta show her that I could be strong, and to be strong for her. Um, I've kept myself together better than I thought I would during this episode. I really did. I did better than I thought I would. I thought I had snot running down my nose, eyes puffier than than God knows what. Eyes puffier than a water balloon or something. You had to literally get up and step away from your camera and stuff to get myself together. That's how I thought I would break down. But like I said, I'm getting better as the days go by, as the weeks go by, as the months go by. And that was February. She took her last breath February 13th. Her funeral was March 5th or 3rd. It ain't been that long. But I'm slowly getting back to being able to hear a song or see a movie she liked, or a TV show we loved, like Martin. We used to watch that to death, crack up laughing. Chucky, she used to roll on the floor crying, laughing at him. It's a lot of things. I would entertain her by mocking or demonstrating, or whatever you want to call it, different scenes of different movies, and like House Party 4, different scenes that I know she liked. I would just literally make her laugh, and try to make her laugh in some type of way. And I wish I could have did that before this happened. But I can't wish all the shoulda, woulda, couldas I couldn't, or I want to say. But she can't hear me. She can probably hear me, but she can't respond to me the way I want her to respond. So, like I said, moral of the story, don't let too much time go by. Because nobody knows their last day. I'm trying to do as much as I can to leave for my daughter. It's not worth losing that type of friend, no matter what it is. It's not worth losing that type of friend. I thank y'all very much for listening, watching. Make sure you come back. I do have a lot more topics that I would like to, serious ones, funny ones, all different types. And I just wanted this to be the first one because it means so much to me. And I wanted to show everybody that it's important. It's important to save relationships. Even if you, like I say, even if you guys don't be tight like you used to, you're making amends. You're able to express what you've done and apologize for it. They can express to you what you've done, and you can apologize for it. They can express their feelings on what you did, and you can say, I understand. That's my fault. I apologize. You can go to them and say, I've done this to you, friend, and I would like to apologize. I would like to extend this olive branch. Don't say, if I've done this, that, and the third. That's not apologize. You know if you've done wrong, if they've done something to you, if it's both ways, express your feelings, and they should be able to apologize to you. And They express their feelings, and you should be able to apologize to them. This world is starting to be doomed with so much going on. Prayer is definitely the number one thing you should be doing because it helps. So make amends, fix that relationship, fix that friendship, especially the friendship that I've had, that me and Lana had for so many years, for decades. Just fix it. It doesn't hurt to reach out and say those words. I'm sorry. I apologize. Forgive me. The Lord has done it for you. He forgives you every day. Go get that forgiveness. Give that forgiveness. You'll feel a whole lot better. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.